What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Super excited to be with Genfinity and kicking off the rapid fire interviews once again. You guys are going to see multiple interviews within the Aleph Zero ecosystem coming out. Super excited today to be joined by Captain Crow, who is the co-founder of Explora Online. So certainly some gamification aspects within the Aleph Zero ecosystem, NFTs, etc. I always like to start these out with a little bit of an introduction. So, Captain, if you can give us an intro into yourself, what brought you into the space, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me as well. So what brought me into the space? I've been in crypto since, paper wallets were a thing. I was designing some paper wallets for Bitcoin back in like 2013, 2014. I would say Doge was like the first crypto I bought back then as well. And so I mean, obviously I hadn't held from them. I'd be doing other things in the world. In my history with Web3 and gaming and why I'm launching Explora, I have experience launching and shipping a game previously on another blockchain. It was within the confines of the whole play to earn hype, and really learning from those things has brought me to kind of hone and perfect this new idea and really fine tune it with Explora, where we're wanting to build a fun experience, a fun game first, and not really a crypto game, so to speak. We want to build something entertaining and fun for the masses. And so we're doing that, but we're also incorporating the blockchain aspects because we believe ownership of assets is really important when it comes to gaming. And we believe the ability to take those assets and trade them without risk of these P2P markets, without risk of getting screwed over or anything like that. Everything's on a smart contract, everything's going to be on an NFT marketplace. So that's a little bit about us and why we're doing what we're doing.
Awesome. I think it's really interesting when you think about building a game for gamers. It's been one of kind of the bigger complaints that we see across the gamification aspects of crypto and Web3, where it's incentivization first a lot of the time instead of just building a cool game that people like to play. So I think moving forward, I mean, I always like to ask, why you're building in the ecosystem that you're building in. So can you give me a bit of a background on, why did you guys choose to build this out on Aleph Zero as well? That'd be great.
Yeah, we see, from a business perspective, we see first mover advantage. We see that getting in early in this ecosystem that is really got a strong community, but beyond that, there is an amazing team in the Aleph Zero team running this. And we have nothing but good experiences with them. We started getting introduced to the ecosystem last year and talked with our previous Web3 game and talks of migrating that over to Aleph Zero. But there was complications there, and we decided, let's start fresh, let's start a new game within the ecosystem that doesn't come with these, like you said, how crypto games are just incentive first. Doesn't come with these problems, these pre-existing conditions. Let's start with something that is a game for gamers and it is entertainment first, and working alongside with the community, getting linked up with community members, and collaborating has all been very easy and accessible in the Aleph Zero ecosystem. But really, the charm is the Aleph Zero team. I've worked with foundations before, blockchain foundations before. The accessibility to the team, the attentiveness, the desire for them to see the ecosystem grow and champion new projects coming into the ecosystem, new builders coming into it is unlike anything I've seen. So it's been nothing but a great experience, and that's been kind of the main reason is the team and the team I believe in and the team we believe in to take this ecosystem and really make something that's important. And really, when we're talking about incentives, I think incentive to grow and be in the $1 billion market.
That's awesome. Tell us a little bit more about Explora from the gamification standpoint. If you could describe what you guys are building within the game, maybe why NFTs as well, that would be great.
Yeah. So Explora Online, it's you start the game off, everyone starts there's some confusion when I explain it or when people get the first impression of it. The purpose of the game is to explore. So there's a map. You start on a continent similar to Europe, and you'll go set out to sea, exploring, looking for artifacts, looking for new cultures, looking for what would be akin to like pyramids and structures and stuff like that. Looking for new creatures. So you're exploring. I mean, the whole idea is to explore. That the confusion there becomes like, well, can I be a pirate and be attacking ships? Yes, there'll be that component to the game. There'll be a battle component, but it's not going to be the main focus of the game. We want the focus to be around finding new rare items, and that's where the NFT component comes in. So you find the Fountain of Youth. You're the first person to find it. You can claim that your avatar name will be on that NFT, and it'll say like first discovered by this user, and it'll be a one of one, right? So you'll have that, be able to sell it, be able to trade it, or you can keep it within the game. Say you don't want to go into the NFT, you want to just you value more the in-game currency than AZERO currency at that point. So if you want to sell it within the game and get gold within the game and to use it to upgrade your ship, to upgrade your manpower and other utilities within the game, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So we're keeping it gamer friendly in the sense that you can just keep the assets and everything within the game if you want, but you have the alternative to turn those assets into NFTs and push them out into the NFT marketplace to trade for currency, for real world currency. So you'll start off as an explorer, one of 3 kingdoms you could choose. As you advance, you'll be upgrading your ship. You'll be playing mini games within the port cities. Those mini games will allow you extra moves, so you can move your ship further out into sea, so you can go exploring much further. And at a certain point, if you level up, you can become a pirate. We are going to allow piracy, so you'll be able to become a pirate. Your allegiance will be null with any kingdom. And you can be a pirate and just, your whole thing could be just looting and pillaging other ships and maybe stealing their assets. And so that could be your whole shtick if you want it to be. Main purpose of the game is exploration. We're open world. For sure, people will find other things to do and have fun with, as it will be an open world project. But parts of the map are going to be hidden. Nobody's going to know what the map looks like beforehand. And we plan to release seasons, so it stays fresh. So maybe 6-month season of one world map, and then we'll queue up the next season. It'll be a completely different world map that you can explore to keep everything fresh and new.
That's awesome. And I usually kind of ask, who your target audience and community is, retail or enterprise. Obviously with you guys, you guys are building out a game for gamers first. So the question that I would ask then instead is, how do you kind of cultivate, how do you cultivate community? Obviously within crypto and Web3, everything moves so quickly. How do you guys, attack kind of the keeping the community excited about what you guys are building, also being transparent as well?
Yeah, so we plan to have more giveaways in the traditional gaming sense. So there's a few platforms, a few giveaway platforms that are just targets completely to gamers. One that comes to mind is called Loot Boy, and so that once we're at a later point where we can start opening up a wait list and, for a closed beta and have people kind of come in and get early access, that's when we're going to start pushing out more of the targeting for the Web2 crowd. Right now, our focus is let's build a nice foundation with Aleph Zero community. Let's show we have numbers, so anybody from the outside comes into our Discord, sees, oh, there's activity, there's Twitter following, this indie game looks fun, there's something going on here. So our strategy in the onset of bringing in the Web2 people is let's cultivate what we have now and what we can cultivate with the Aleph Zero community. And then we bring in more people once we have more to show with our beta. We want an alpha release. There'll be game footage and all those things to really ignite the base and get more people excited about our development. As well, we have a blog out, and so we'll be regularly blogging about our development process. And yeah, I can get all that kind of addressed towards the end, where people can find more information about the
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great. I always like to kind of ask what differentiates your project from a gaming standpoint, from other projects in crypto as well. And I didn't ask, where's the game going to be available? Is it going to be web-based? Is it going to be mobile-based? What are your thoughts around that?
Yeah, at first we're going to have it just be browser-based. We will release, there's a couple places we have in mind that are browser-based app stores, which Congregate, and another one called Pokey. And so I have a previous relationship with Congregate and a connection there, so where we can launch, and they are Web3 friendly. A lot of their games are Web2 based, but they're very Web3 friendly. So launching on those app stores, getting attention from that crowd as well. But you can go on the browser, create your account as well, and just run it on the browser. Long-term plans is to have a version that is mobile friendly, so you can do your exploration and everything on your mobile app. And it's good to hear this week as well. A lot of good news in crypto space, the Ripple thing, but also Google Play said, hey, NFTs are cool with us. So yep. That's great. Good news for gaming and launching apps. So yeah, that's definitely on the horizon for us.
That's awesome. Can you talk about any, I know obviously with kind of an expanding ecosystem within Aleph Zero, have you guys made any partnerships, collaborations so far within the space, within Explora?
Yeah, our big collaboration has been the AZERO Punks guys. Love those guys. We launched with their tools kit, and we launched a Kickstarter, pushing out some of the early ships and using their tools. So yeah, no, the collaboration there has been great. We been introduced to the AZERO guys. We don't, at this point, we feel it's a little too early to list our Kickstarter NFTs there. But yeah, we've been in chats with them, and everyone, like I said, everyone's been great so far. We do have something planned with AZERO Punks as far as like avatars in game. So yeah, stay on the lookout for that. Yeah, so just putting the feelers out. There's been a couple of others as well that we've been introduced to for potential collaborations, I guess. Also future potential for some stuff to do some fundraising and give incentives to the community as well.
Awesome. And I mean, I always do like to kind of ask as well, size of the team. How many guys do you have working on Explora right now, and what are your thoughts kind of moving forward as the game rolls out, everything else with expansion?
Yeah, there's 4 of us right now. 3 of us are doing kind of the big whole. I'm doing all the product management, product design. My co-founder, he's a game developer, Unity game developer, Godot game developer. He's doing all the game development and the account management. we had a victory this week to link up. So you can log in with your social, you can log in with an email, and then you can link up your wallet to that, and everything will be within the app. So you're not having to like jump out of the app and do any kind of like contract calls too much or anything like that. So everything's linked up, and now not only are your assets linked to whatever social account you log in with or whatever email you log in with, they're also going to be linked up to your wallet. So those two things are, it's kind of like the foundation before we start kind of like really pushing out and building out the game. So that was a victory this week. We got that finished, and now we're moving on to our alpha version of the game. And so we're excited to have that going in that direction, working towards that. I know I got off topic and talked about the team, but I got excited about what we're accomplishing. We have a blockchain smart contract developer, and then we have our pixel artist who's comes from the same blockchain community that I came from before, and he's a really well-known NFT artist in that space. And he's doing some of the pixel work for us. So yeah,
awesome. And
right now we're keeping it pretty small to keep the budget low, so we can have a longer runway. But we, as we grow and expand, from my experience, keeping the team small is probably the better approach. So yeah, probably adding one or two others, in more like communication roles and artist roles. But yeah, no plan to like be like a 30 member team or anything like that in the near future.
Awesome. And I mean, you touched base on some milestones and achievements, and you mentioned kind of the alpha version of the gaming aspect as well. So I guess instead of milestones and achievements, because I know that you mentioned a couple right now, roadmap looking forward. I know roadmaps are always quite the polarizing topic whenever you start getting into those conversations, but where you guys, where are you guys kind of at with the alpha version rollout? When do you think that's kind of going to come about?
Oof. Yeah, I don't want to give a date on that. Like I said, we got the foundational pieces. Like we really wanted to get the account manager, the management of your assets, all of that kind of figured out before we started building the game. We didn't want to have to reverse engineer anything. So yeah, next step is to have an alpha version. What we want to do is kind of have one main island, and then maybe 4 or 5 different islands that you can go off and explore, I guess, continents or so, just so we can start testing the physics of the game. How long will it actually take to travel whatever distance, and kind of start measuring, the math of it all, like how much server load will 100 players take, as they're exploring the map, or testing out all those kind of things before we get into like making the beta and making the full map that we have planned. So we're going to start off with kind of like a smaller world, and then from there, I mean, right now the community is small, so I feel okay just inviting people once we have the alpha version. Okay, like just testing that alpha version. So yeah, if you're in our Discord, you'll probably get first dibs on testing out the alpha once we have that. I could say that's probably conservatively 2 to 3 months away.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, don't hold me to it if there's delays, because there's always delays.
Totally. And I kind of, as we kind of close this out here, definitely want to ask where, people can go if they're interested in learning more, which I will close that out with that. But before we get to that, do you have any kind of forward-looking statements? Like, what are you guys excited about, either within what you guys are building or within the Aleph Zero ecosystem as well?
Yeah. With what we're building, I'm excited to have a game out there that's not only for the Aleph Zero community, but also for gamers. And I mean, I touched on it just now, like 2 or 3 months from now, we'll have something in the hands of the community. for them to be able to play with and kind of get the experience of what we have in mind. With the Aleph Zero community, I'm in the Telegram room, which is the builders chat, and like it's exciting to see that builders chat just like constantly grow and be active. A month ago, it was kind of just like crickets in there, and now there's like constant activity, constant messages, people coming in, welcoming new builders. So it's exciting to see this all growing, and kind of being here incredibly early to see the growth, to see the excitement, to see the community just kind of banding behind different projects and being enthusiastic about the future. It's all good to see.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's certainly really good to hear too that a lot of builders within the ecosystem are kind of pulling together, growing the pie, because obviously, I think there's been a lot of excitement around the Aleph Zero ecosystem as well. And it's always good to see, I don't even want to say co-opetition because I don't know if it's there yet, but like the collaboration aspects to grow the network are certainly really exciting. Where would you recommend for people that are interested in learning more about Explora Online go? Is it the Twitter? Is it the Discord? Where can people go to learn more?
Yeah, you can go to Explora.online. That's our main landing page website. It has a white paper on there, and you can see a link to our Discord. So yeah, I do welcome people to head over to Discord and check that out. We also have the Captain's Log, which is the blog of all the new development updates to keep up to date. But yeah, you'll find all that information at explora.online, and you can follow us on Twitter at ExploraO. So just search for us on Twitter at ExploraO.
Awesome. Well, hey, Captain Crow, thank you so much for taking your time out today to do this interview. Really excited to see all the aspects within Explora moving forward as well. Really appreciate your time and looking forward to talking again in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me, and look forward to our next chat.